Hey, it's Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Hey, listen, this is for educational purposes only. This is also for your edification on how to get that score up. So today, I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 ways that your credit numbers you really need to know. You see, when we were growing up, my parents didn't teach me about these 5 numbers. When I went off to high school or regular school, I didn't learn about these 5 numbers. When I went to college, and I love my alma mater, North Carolina Central University. Shout out to the Eagles. Go Eagles. They didn't teach me this. When I went through my MBA in finance, University of Maryland Global Campus, or for the old heads, University of Maryland University College. We ain't talk about these 5 numbers. But what I'm about to do today is I'm going to talk to you about these 5 numbers because I understand that if you don't understand, you're going to continue to have some jacked up credit. So, first of all, this is for educational purposes only. I am a licensed financial advisor as well as an insurance agent and financial planner. So, I am going to break it down like this. I hope you understand. I hope this helps. Let's get started. So, number one, I want you to think about 35% of your score comes from your payment history. See, it's one of the most important factors that you could have in your credit score. It's how you pay your bills on time. It's whether you pay them late, because those lates will hurt you. It's whether or not you got collections or charge offs or a bankruptcy or impact. This stuff will impact your credit so bad. I just got one question for you. How many of you have paid your bills on time? I know historically in some communities, nobody talks about credit. And so some of you, your credit might be in the fives. Hey, it might be in the threes. I remember working at the bank. A 620 used to be a good credit score. That is not a good credit score. That is a fair credit score. Okay. So I need you to understand that. I also need you to understand that when you get to number two, which is 30% of your credit score, so between these two, 35 and 30 is what? 65%. So how you pay your bills versus how you use your credit utilization. How much available credit are you using? What we want to do is we want to keep those balances at 30% or below. Under 10% is really ideal. High balances signal risk to the lenders. Now, I want you to think about something for a second. This formula, it's on this actual slide. Credit card balance plus credit limit or divided by credit limit equals your utilization. So I want you to think about this for a second. Let's say that you got a $10,000 credit card. Some of y'all have Apple. We'll just use Apple. I'm not supporting Apple, even though I have an Apple, right? At 10,000, you can't have more than $3,000 carrying over on a month to month with Apple. If you charge it, you got to go back and pay it off. Okay. Now, I hope I made that clear. So your credit limit was 10,000, your card balance was 3,000. You are at a 30% utilization. Why I'm on this point, I know that you have a due date, but you really need to know your statement date because that's when it gets reported, not on the due date. It's your statement date. Anything after the statement date, which is a couple of days before the due date in most cases, is getting reported on your credit. So if you think if I pay it off by my due date or I pay it down to 30%, I'm good, right, Mr. Financial First Responder? Actually, you're not. You need to pay it before that statement date hits. And guess what? When you read your credit card statements, it tells you when your statement comes out. But most of you, I bet the only thing you look at on that statement is how much you owe. So that leads me to the third point. Age of credit. How long have you been managing credit? I can tell you when I went in the Marine Corps, I had no clue about credit. Because I say again, I didn't learn this in elementary school, nor junior high, nor high school, nor college, and I daggone didn't learn it in the military. I'm saying to you guys, 15%. Now remember, we were at 65%, right? You add another 15%, what's that? I know the numbers are not mathing. I got you. But I need you to understand why they're not mathing. That 15% on top of that 65% would be a total of what? 10 to 75, 80. So it is mathing. Okay, my math is a little off today. I'm tired. My point is the older accounts you have, the better it increases your credit score. Avoid closing any long-term accounts if necessary. Now, I can tell you a time I had a jewelry account. I had this account for years. Them jokers closed my account because I wouldn't buy no daggone jewelry. Not on a credit card. Because I understood I could actually buy it on one of my credit cards that gave me rewards or travel points and make more money than having it on a store-bought card. So, you guys, you going out here and you own every kiss begins with a, you know what I mean. And all girls like something beginning with a Z. I can't even remember all of these stores that sell jewelry. But my point is that 15% of that comes from the age of your credit, how long you've had it. And I can tell you, I've had some of my credit cards as long as my children have been living, and my daughter's 28. So that tells you how long I've been working on my credit. This is not a quick, rich scheme. This is about you establishing a system about your credit and sticking to it. Now, number 4, credit types. Everybody always asks me, what type of credit should I have? Should I have personal? Should I have business? Let's stick with this. Mortgages, car loans, student loans, unsecured. Unsecured meaning that there's nothing tied to an asset. Credit cards. See, the lenders like to see that you're responsible managing across multiple credit lines. See, some of you, truth be told, you done had some situations with your student loans. Matter of fact, this is a true statement. If you ever try to file bankruptcy, you can't get out of alimony or child support, and you can't get out of student loans. You can get out of everything else, but you can't get out of those. I always tell people bankruptcy should be your last thing that you do, not the first. Because what you've come to is a form of a habit. Then number 5, 10, them dag blasted inquiries. Stop applying for everything and you know your credit is jacked up. I want to see if I can get this card. I'm going to give you a hint. If you're not getting with a person who can actually consult you on your credit, who can actually walk you through, like your financial advisor, I don't know if he or she does credit. Maybe they just deal with the investment part. I deal with everything. I'm looking at your credit report. I'm able to tell you, hey, you need to stop doing all these charges. Stop getting these store accounts. Let it breathe. See, all these hard inquiries can temporarily lower your score so much that it's going to affect you. And you may be like, well, I don't really care. It's temporary. Well, when you can't get a job because you got 30 inquiries on your credit, or it jacks up your car insurance because you're a credit risk, or it actually charges you more interest for the credit you do have because they see that, yeah, you pay your bills, but you're irresponsible. Them inquiries and new accounts, if you get new accounts, then you keep them to the point where they're below 30% and it builds up the amount of credit you have. Some of you got $1,000 worth of credit and your credit's jacked up. Some of you got $15,000 worth of credit and your credit's jacked up. Some of you got $25,000 worth of credit and your credit's jacked up. Usually when we start seeing people with more and more credit, it's because they know how to handle their credit. See, opening multiple accounts in a short period of time could actually mess you up. And it may have some of these lenders raise concerns. Oh, yeah, and while I'm on this point, if you can't figure out how to pay your bills and you are constantly overdrafting your account, some of these lenders have the ability when they check your credit to actually, and they get permission to go to your bank, they actually can pull based off of your accounts how many times you've bounced the check or bounced the payment or whatever you did. I would love to give you a magic number that would say, hey, you're safe, but you never know from lender to lender, so I won't give you a number. My goal for your number should be 0. If it's 1 time, 2 times in a year, but then you should have your account linked to overdraft protection. You should set it up where you have an alternative payment method. You should have, hey, I don't really need this, I'm not buying it right now method. See, you have a system to save yourself time, energy, and money. Notice it was time, save yourself time, energy, and money. So if you're not saving yourself time, energy, and money, what are you doing here, people? See, the financial positioning system is your financial GPS, that global positioning system for life. Most people focus on their credit score. Smart people focus on the 5 numbers that create it. Look, this is Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Please like and subscribe my channel. Please share this with someone. I hope this helps someone. If you need more guidance, more help, come talk to me. 35, 30, 15, 10, 10. Seems like real easy numbers to remember to me. 35, 30, 15, 10, 10. 35, 30, 15, 10, 10. Almost sounds like you about to call somebody. I know it's not the numbers, but it is the numbers. Look, have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you. 2 days before the birthday. I'm excited. I'll talk to you later. Barnes out.